If I told you to imagine an apple, what do you see?
An apple.
An apple.
An apple.
An apple.
An apple.
I just see an apple.
Well, an apple.
An apple.
And what does that apple look like?
I'd say it's about the size of your palm.
It looks 3D.
I'd probably say a green apple, freshly washed, very shiny.
Shiny from the wax, Macintosh.
I imagine it's red. It has a stem.
It was pretty smooth, and you can make out the curvature all around the apple.
Yeah, it's this nice little red orb, think kind of gala. There's a little worm coming out of it too.
I don't have a picture of an apple in my head per se. I can imagine it, but I don't really see one. Actually, I used to be able to picture things in my head since I was born, but then last year something just happened, and now I can't picture anything.
This phenomenon is called aphantasia. Aphantasia varies from person to person. Most people imagine the exact image they saw a moment ago, though some don't see the shadows or the highlights of the image. Or some other people see only the solid shapes. Color is a luxury for some people, as some only see shadows like black and gray. For some people, they don't see anything at all. Has this realization given you a different perspective on your imagination?
It gives me this insight into why I am the way I am, and also why a lot of things around me work the way they do, what other people are going through when they can visualize. You know, it's nice that nobody can make me think of a pink elephant, but it helps me understand what everybody else is going through when somebody says don't think of a pink elephant, or what a misery an earworm must be. It's been nice to sort of let go of a certain amount of guilt about what I can't do, right? Like, I don't remember things, I can't visualize, I'm not sure what that is. And to the degree that I tried to do these things before, now I recognize I can't, and I should find a workaround if I'm building a creative project, or I should make sure I've got a list of my students' names so that I can refer to it when I need to. And when I forget things, well, I've got a ready-made excuse, and that's nice.
Can you describe to me in the best detail what you see?
I don't have a picture in my mind's eye. I understand that for non-aphants, that to a greater or lesser degree, if you ask them to say to picture an apple in their mind's eye, that they get what feels like a real visual picture, just one that doesn't correspond with the real world. If you picture a computer, most computers have a monitor so you can see what they're working on, right? If you took the monitor off the computer, it would still be doing all the work. It would still be inputting and outputting data and doing the tasks you assigned it. But there wouldn't be that monitor to see what it was working on. And my brain is like that computer.
What do you see when you dream?
So I don't remember my dreams very well, but I do sometimes wake up having the strong impression that I have just seen something interesting. I spend a lot of time in my dreams wandering around cavernous bookstores, mazes. Recently there was a beach landscape being mined, which I know makes no sense, but then I wake up and details are gone, right? So it's all a bit mysterious. I quite like to remember my dreams. I've tried doing dream journaling. There's this tactic called lucid dreaming where you can sort of train yourself to remember your dreams better. It has not yet worked for me.
How has aphantasia affected your teaching position?
I began my career 20 years ago and spent most of the last 20 years telling students that a thing they could learn to do to help them read was to visualize and to practice visualizing. And that can certainly help some students to think about and rehearse and understand the material they're reading, but it's not a good strategy for everybody in the room, certainly not for the young aphants, who, like me, thought the whole idea of visualizing was just this elaborate metaphor, or who find it to be just this thing that, where they're being told, you know, do this thing that they absolutely can't. Like if you were to tell a quadriplegic to hop, right? It's not going to help you out to be told just try harder.
It is estimated through studies that up to 4% of the population has aphantasia. The max amount of children that can be in a first grade classroom is 20. 4% of 20 equals 0.8. There's no such thing as 0.8% of a child, which means that in every first grade classroom, there is at least one child that has aphantasia. We all know what an apple is, and no matter how you think of it, it's completely normal. No matter where you are on the spectrum, you can be assured that there are lots of people that share the same imagination as you. Next time you see friends or family, ask them to imagine an apple.
Scene 6.6, take one. If you had to choose between 100 chicken-sized horses or one horse-sized chicken, which one would you pick in a fight?
Probably the chicken-sized horses, because I feel like it wouldn't be difficult to just kick them away like a soccer ball for each one.
Chickens are beasts of animals, and they will kill you if they were like any bigger.
One horse-sized chicken. Easiest decision I've ever made in my life.
I just think fighting one thing would be way easier than fighting a bunch of little animals.
100.
I feel like it's easier to take on a lot of small things instead of one big thing, and chickens are scrappy. I don't know if you guys have ever fought a chicken before.
I feel like that way you can just like kick them.
I've got to go for the horse-sized chicken on that one. I mean, if I get under those little skinny legs, I'm taking it down.
I'll go for the 100 horse-sized chickens, chicken-sized horses.
Okay, thank you.